Hello, welcome to a layout update. As you noticed in the last one, I was actually building all the fiddle yard, and I got all that down, all the tracks down. I've given it a quick clean just to get any glue off the surface, and I've wired everything up on the board. So I've only really wired the DCC bus. So when we say DCC is just two wires, that's the problem with DCC. It's not two wires, it's two wires to each piece of track. So it's actually quite funny, that is. I've still yet to put the points in. I've done quite a bit of work on the wiring on the main layout, which I'll show you in a little while. And I just want to really just test this, make sure it all works, get it wired up to the main board. So I put a connector on the end, you can just see, just on each one, and I'll be just joining. So I've got to just cut this and make it to the right length. For the points, I put a control box on the main layout, and I want to use some 9-pin connectors for that. So I'm going to put one on a cable from here, and that will then go to just a socket on the main board, and that will just make it nice and tidy and easy. I was going to use a DIN socket, but I couldn't seem to find like a 9-way DIN socket, and these 9-pin D plugs, yes, you know, they were really cheap and readily available, so I thought that would make the better option for this. But I'm going to do a little bit of testing. I just want to test out, make sure everything is working on the wiring before I get really too carried away and getting all the point motors fitted. I have chosen the just the Gauge Master seat point motors. I tend to use these all the time, you know. They're noisy when they clunk across, but they are always a good positive, you know, point motion. So I'm going to get those, and also don't think anybody else out there has not heard of West Wagon Works now, but they make some really good quality buffer stops. You don't need to do anything with them, just take them off the sprue and that's it. You know, you can obviously paint them if you want, but I'm probably just going to paint them black and for the fiddle yard, but I just want to put some on the end there so they don't fall off, and I also want one on the main layout. So let me get this wired up, and then I'm going to use the Jinty, which is seen in a previous video, which is on DCC, and I'm just going to go and give this a test. Okay, let's give this a test. Just using the Magnum Dynamics. So I've got this all plugged in. So it's the first time I've started to run any locos on this. So hopefully it will go over all these points without any problems. Okay. So we stopped on the dead part of the point then. It's not particularly what I wanted. I know this is going to be the fiddle yard, but I was still expecting this loco to go over. So it's quite a long wheelbase in a way, even though it's maybe it just needs a little bit more cleaning, these points. Right, okay. So I've not got the reliability just yet. That is not what I was after. We'll have to try a second loco as well, but this is the main loco that I wish really to use on this layout. Yeah, that's interesting. And I think that's possibly something to do with my soldering. I seem to jump up a little bit there. Not going as well as I expected. Oh. I got a little bit carried away with the speed there. I did had to press the stop button and it was still carrying on. Okay. Oh, I see what I've done there, that's why. So, now we're not moving at all. It would help if I actually put the locomotive on the tracks, I think. And maybe not. Okay, I'm going to have to do a bit more cleaning, I think. A bit more testing on the actual layout itself, but you can see where I'm progressing. Now, actually, I can see now I've actually run that along those tracks. It's brightened those up considerably. I don't know if there's any better track holders than these. So I know these do go into lots of little bits and get into the track itself, and you don't want any of those getting into your loco. So if you ever used one of these track rubbers, give your track a good vacuum or take it outside, blow it, shake it all out. I'm going to give this a little bit of a vacuum just to get any of the bits off that could damage the loco. Let's see if it runs a bit better after that. I'll be back in a second once I've given this a vacuum. Okay, let's have a go now. Will it go through these points, and can I stop it before it gets off the edge of the board? Answer is no, it won't get through the points. And I'm pretty sure it's not this loco. So seems to be I think I will have to try a different loco as well. So we've let me there we go. And then I've got my points set the wrong way. So not a very good test this. I do apologise, I seem to be not running very well on this layout. So let me get another loco and I'm just going to test that one. I haven't really run much N-gauge for a while. Done a couple of track tests and that was it really. So let me try something with a slightly bigger wheelbase and then see if that's fine. I mean, this is the main loco I want to run on this layout, so I need it to be as really as good as possible. So I'm going to just make sure everything seems to be clean on loco. Maybe it is the loco that's not quite right. So let me get another loco and then we can continue with the test. Okay, I'm going to use another Farish loco. It's a slightly older one, this one. I do have DCC fitted in this one as well. I'll have to do a close-up view of this one as well for you. This is the it's a Bachmann Class 25. Class 24, sorry. Well, Graham Farish, Bachmann Class 24. I don't know what address this one's set to. Let's just try 3. Yep. And we're the wrong way around. Do we have lights on this loco? So yes. So let's just see where we go on this one. I know this is a longer wheelbase, so you've got more pickups, so oops. This is definitely more reliable. So I could do with possibly cleaning all the pickups on that Jinty. It's useful having lights on a locomotive. You can see the direction that you've got this set to. Yes, it is all working on the track. Oops, I'm going to run off the end there if I'm not careful. That was close. I should have just done a bit of a crawl. Yeah. I mean, this is running perfectly over all the points now, so I know we do have a bigger wheelbase, so you're going to get better pickup, but this should have big enough wheelbase to go over the dead sections there. So I need to just keep, I would probably say give this a really good clean, you know, or even give it a really good run in, because I've not really properly run any of these locos in because I don't have the track at the present. So let me get the layout, and I can join the layout together, and I can have a look and see how it goes and runs into the layout from the fiddle yard next. I will need to just make my board joiners, so I'm going to do that next. And I don't know, I've recently purchased battery soldering iron. It's a rechargeable soldering iron, and it uses these sort of quite large cells, you know, these lithium ion cells, and it lasts a real long time, and you get a really quick instant heat, and it's been invaluable actually. You know, you've got 3 different heat settings, and this is just so good. It warms up really quick, you know, and I can feel warmth on that already, you know, a little bit. But and they're not expensive. I think it was only about £12 from Amazon, and it was really good. You know, I was using a gas soldering iron before, and every 5 minutes or 10 minutes I was having to refill it with gas. And I was just happened to look online and saw this, and so useful tip if you want a, you know, portable soldering iron. The battery ones do work, and I can put a link into the one that I purchased if you wish to have a look. It seems to be working all fine. The only thing I got when I got it, tip was slightly loose, not completely screwed in. I can feel still a bit of warmth on there, and it made this buzzing sound, and I put it on and nothing happened. It didn't warm up at all. So you just have to make sure that the tip was properly screwed in, and then it works straight away. Obviously it uses some sort of higher frequency, probably ups the voltage from the 3.7 volts, you know, to get a good heating element going. But and I think that was the reason why it didn't sort of work onto the tip. But yeah, that's just a recommendation. I don't mean go out and buy one, but it's really good use. Anyway, let me join the boards together, and let's see if we can get the main board running as well as this board. Hi, you can see I've got the fiddle yard now connected to the main board. I've not actually run anything on this layout for such a long time. I don't know if everything is going to run, but as you can see, I've put a control box on here. I've got working lights now. I've got point motors all fitted and wired up. I've got the 4 switches for the fiddle yard point ones on there. I'm going to put another control box on the back. Obviously, if it was going to be used in an exhibition, you'd want to control it from the rear. I've got power to the rear. I'm going to duplicate this point and a light socket onto the rear as well. Let's just see what we've got. Right, wrong direction. Let's see if it goes through. I've put a couple of wagons on now, but obviously this loco's quite a bit bigger than you would see locos running on this sort of layout. So where I wanted the Jinty to just come along, and obviously the Jinty would fit in with about 3 wagons and a brake van. Oh, there's a stop for the... As you can see, there's just enough room on there, so you can do a little bit of shunting. That's the idea of this layout. It's just a small shunting layout, but we seem to be connected to the fiddle yard fine. I need to get the Jinty to run a little bit better. I think that's my next task on the locos front, but I'm going to finish this layout so it's on 100%. But this class 24 seems to be running okay. And as you can see, the fiddle yard's a nice good size, so we can fit a few locos on there. So you could have something, another one ready to do the bit of shunting in and out there. So as you can see, it's just a simple control box. Yeah, and it's just so, and you can see the board joins up nicely at the tracks, and you've got plenty of room there for at least, well, the idea was to have at least 2 trains, and on here spare wagons, so you could just shunt them back and forth on the fiddle yard or push some wagons through. So hopefully this one, yep, and then you'd obviously can then push some wagons into the building, so you would then see it through the building on the lights. As you probably noticed, the lights that I put underneath, the idea why I put those tight industrial ones, because I wanted them to, so you could see them reflecting into the canal surface. So I'm not sure if I've shown you the engine shed. This isn't in Cromford, it's just a fictitious building that I wanted to do, and I just thought it add a little bit more variety to the layout. So but that's just one that I've just decided to build, and I did put a inspection pit inside, but I didn't put any lights in the inspection pit. So I'm going to do a little bit more work and get this layout running a lot better, get all the points fitted and wired. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this update, and I wish you a very good evening. Take care.